Welcome to the Cell series. This video focuses on internal organelles of the cytoplasm. At the end of this lecture, students should be able to describe the major cytoplasmic components and understand the functions of each piece. The cytoplasm makes up the internal environment of a cell. Existing as a semi-transparent gelatinous mix, think about the cytoplasm like clear hair gel. Its function as clear hair gel is to allow objects to get stuck in its gooey matrix. This gooey matrix encompasses everything contained within the cell membrane, including the organelles suspended within it, the cytoskeleton, the cytosol, and the matrix itself. It also includes lipids, ions, amino acids, carbohydrates, nucleic acids, enzymes, and the molecules and compounds necessary for proper cellular function. In essence, the cytoplasm keeps the internal contents of the cell from sloshing around. The cytosol is the aqueous solution inside the cell. The solution contains some minute particles or molecules, such as nucleic acids and amino acids. The cytosol is located within the cell membrane and is only the solution portion of the cytoplasm. It does not include any of the other cytoplasmic components, like the organelles or the cytoskeleton. The cytosol is also referred to as the intracellular fluid, or IF. The synthesis, or building up of molecules, as well as the degradation or breakdown of molecules, occurs in the cytosol. In addition, it is the site of many enzymatic reactions. This is the location of translation, the process by which proteins are made, as well as many reactions necessary for life. The cytoskeleton provides a structural framework for the cell. It is composed of three types of protein fibers: microtubules, intermediate filaments, and actin filaments, sometimes referred to as microfilaments. These fibers interweave in various ways throughout the cytoplasm to help support the cell. Microtubules make up the largest of the cytoskeletal filaments. The protein tubulin creates long protofilaments that aggregate together into long hollow cylinders. These cylinder tubes, known as microtubules, start in the centrosome and radiate outward toward the plasma membrane. They provide structure for the cell by anchoring the organelles throughout the cytoplasm, as well as undergoing dynamic instability, or the lengthening and shortening of the fibers for sorting the chromosomes during cell division. Microtubules also act as the conveyor belts of the cytoskeleton, shuffling necessary material throughout the cell, and they help to perform the movements of the flagella and the cilia used for locomotion by sliding along one another. Intermediate filaments are long, rope-like structures, kind of like Twizzlers or licorice. They're larger than actin filaments and smaller than microtubules, hence the intermediate naming convention. Because intermediate filaments are twisted, they have incredible tensile strength, providing a rigid shape and support network. Think about the strength of your hair and your nails. These are made of intermediate filament keratin. Intermediate filaments make great anchors and offer support for the cell and nuclear membranes. These fibers are so elastic and strong that they can stretch several times their length, becoming deformed and then reforming, providing mechanical support to the cell and the microtubule structures. Actin filaments are the thinnest of the cytoskeletal fibers. Networks of actin filaments are found to strengthen and support the cell membrane. They are extremely dynamic and help organisms like amoeba move their pseudopods. They aid in the splitting of cells at the end of cell division. Intermediate filaments also work with myosin fibers to create muscle contractions. Motor proteins use ATP and cytoskeletal fibers to create movement within the cell. In muscle contraction, the motor protein is myosin. It attaches its head to the actin fiber, which is the site of ATP activation. This leads to a change in the conformation of the protein, causing it to bend. This moves the actin filament. Cells use these motor proteins with associated cytoskeletal filaments to create intracellular movement. The motor protein kinesin moves along microtubules like a moving walkway at the airport to transport cellular components throughout the cell. The motor protein dynin causes microtubules to bend, which leads to the movement of cilia and flagella. Students should be able to discuss the major concepts of the cytoplasm and their function. Students should be able to understand the activities of the cytoskeleton. Students should be able to differentiate between microtubules, intermediate filaments, and actin fibers. And students should know how motor proteins work in the cell.